Jordan tongue out.
Man, I think he was just concentrating hard. Either that or he was trying to move number 2 in. I don't know.
Big shout out. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to Oh My Bull. I know you missed us. We've been gone for a little while extra, but we're back. We're back to show you how much we love you and how much we love our Bulls. Once again, it's the one and only John J. And with me, as always, is the great D Snow from the Go. Holla at him, Snow.
Yo, what's up out there, Chicago line? I've been missing y'all. It's been cold. Bulls haven't been playing well, but, it's going to turn around. We're going to keep believing. It's been tough, man. It's been a tough couple weeks as a Bulls fan because, we see everybody playing well, and I want us to see play well, too. They gave us a couple of little tastes like they were going to get there, and we took a step back. So,
Yeah, most definitely. A lot to talk about it. I personally think it might be a little light at the end of the tunnel for all my homers out there. Y'all still believing in the cause. But ladies and gentlemen, before we get into this fire conversation, please hit us with a like, share, subscribe, comment, tell everybody about us. We would certainly appreciate that. It don't cost you one penny, but for us, it's worth $1 million. Thank you. So yeah, the Bulls, they finally came back from a rough road trip. Starting out east, but ending out west. They come back home, they go 2-4 on that road trip, D Snow. What do you give us a quick rundown on some of those games? What did you think about what you saw?
It's tough, and I know I talk about this a lot, and I'm just beating a dead horse, but man, our defense on the front line is just not well right now. I mean, Vucevic is just not playing well down low. I mean, he's the only really big guy that we have. And we need to make, we talked about it before about making some changes, which it looks like that's what Billy's been doing. He does have some changes in mind. I do see some different things going on with lineup changes and stuff like that. But defensively, man, we are giving up too many points, and that's the problem. Just flat out playing. We haven't had a game that we've given up 100 points in a game since November the 7th. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's over a month of basketball games that we're giving up 100 points every game. There's no way you're going to win in this league like that.
Well, I will say league-wide, everybody's scoring 100 points nowadays.
Yeah, but
I'm with you on the lack of defense.
It's all about what makes us a good team. And even if we're giving up 100, that's a different. But we're giving up 114, 120, 130.
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother ball game. And what's bothered me the most on defense, and it's more than just this one guy, but he is really standing out to me every night, is Vooch. Yeah. We play so good when we go inside out through him on offense, and he's such a great rebounder. But when he is not engaged the way he wants to be, he does not care. And it's so irritating how he would just loaf back on D. He'll look at the refs waiting for a call. And he got that Ole deep. Somebody's driving the lane. He will literally take a step back and give it to him. He's not challenging like he should. He'll get some blocks every now and then, but it's, when a guy didn't see him coming or, an active guy.
Yeah.
But his defense has really been canceling the good things that he brings us on offense.
Man, in the last couple of weeks, Aiden went off on him, Porzingis went off on him, Marketing went off on him. Everybody that stuck him, it was like, it's a report going around saying, hey, look, he's coming to town, you can get 35 on him.
Yeah, this that night.
this is the night to go. You'll be on ESPN tonight. Get your and I'm watching the game
that night.
And you know what? Because I watch the game so close, because sometimes I want to make sure that when I'm making opinionated, statements about guys, that I'm not just talking out my ass, but I'm watching it. I I don't think he just had. I think he's just slow on defense. His legs are slow, his feet are slow. Some people just don't have good footwork, and that's why. Like in the old days, guys used to go to ballet and all kind of stuff to get their footwork better for football, basketball, stuff like that. And it looks like he's just not that fast with the feet. He's a horrible defensive player. It's just what it is.
Yeah, no other way around it. And the way this team is made up, I like Pat. I like the way he's been progressing, but I would rather see maybe a bigger defensive anchor next to him to carry that slack. I mean, if we're gonna stick with Vooch, and he needs a dog to play alongside of him. Take some of that defensive
pressure. If Vooch
gave
us at least 2 blocks a game and 4 or 5 fouls a game, would be a different team.
Well, 2 blocks a game is top 5 in the league.
I mean, even if it's 1, bro. I mean, give us something. Give us some deep. What am I talking about? I was beating around the bush, but I'm talking about defensive presence in the whole. Just give me some type of defensive presence. Make people a little bit afraid to come to the hole. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is none. Nobody's afraid to do their thing against us.
Use your weight, use your size, do something. You
have to. You have to do something to make a difference.
A slow turnstile. He reminds you of Eeyore.
He doesn't do a lot of press conferences, I know, too.
He probably don't want to answer for this bad defense.
These days, they're like, okay, you had 35 to 17, but you got dunked on 3 times.
Let me be out there asking questions. I'm on your ass, Moose.
Vucevic, I mean, like, do you have a step machine at home or something? I mean, your feet are slow, bro. What's going on? What are you doing to get better with your footwork?
Real. Don't you got little kids? Ain't you chasing them around the house or something? Let's see that.
It takes some dancing lessons for something, man. You got to do something.
Man, for real. So, moving on, a little side note, something funny that I noticed when I was watching last week the week before against Utah. When Ayo is sitting at the free throw line, he kind of licked his tongue out, and it reminded me of the slow kid getting ready to hammer himself trying to get ready to hammer a nail and hit his hand.
Make sure. I've seen guys that play drums do that. People do that to concentrate. I've seen
people do. They do.
People really use that to concentrate. So that might be
I know. I got some of my own things, and it's not a knock on, but it was funny to see. It's funny to look at when he's sitting there at the free throw line, and he's like,
"Hey man, he's concentrating, man. Hey, he was hearing about Russo was gonna take his job. He was trying.
Is that the new version of the Jordan tongue out?
I think he was just concentrating hard. Either that or he was trying to move number 2 in. I don't know.
Big shout out.
Time out, coach.
Big shout out to Aya, though. I'm a big fan. I love what you got going.
Hometown kid, man. We love you, Aya.
And I mentioned a few weeks back that he was going to be on Southside, the HBO comedy about Southside of Chicago, and he was on the season 3 premiere episode. So shout out to Io. Io got his acting chops in, quick little scene.
Love it, man. More than just a basketball player. Tell him, Io.
Yeah. One thing I want to talk about, I didn't put it in my notes, so we didn't go over this in our little pre-show, but 40 points is like the curse for us. When one of our top dogs scores 40, we lose. What do you make of that?
Defense from the other team, they're basically saying, okay, we'll let him give his and stop everybody else, and it's working.
Hero ball.
Basically, we need 2 guys that are going to go out there and carry us every night. We can't just have one guy that's carrying it, because what that does is it shorts up the rotation. The ball's not being worked around like it should. Guys not getting open shots. It's not fluid. Guys aren't in the game. We're seeing that now that guys have to be a part of what's going on, or they fall asleep on the game real quick. Guys don't just sit out there waiting on their chance. So we can't turn into a one-on-one team like we see the Nets in the early beginning of the season was, like the Lakers were in the beginning. We can't just turn into, okay, I'm giving you the ball and everybody get out the way. That's not going to win us. That's not going to win us anything, And that's what we're kind of falling into some games where they're just getting out the way and letting guys go because they're either they're not confident in their shots or this guy's hot.
More of what we saw the other night against Washington. All three guys with 25, 25 or to 28, something like that. That was the perfect example of what they can be if that big three is cooking. Although that was a tougher game and should have been without Bradley Beal, but I will say that Washington team is used to playing without their top dog. So they're always going to scrap.
Porzingis look like Larry Bird. I guess
Porzingis has been putting together a good year though.
Yeah, he's been playing.
He's been putting together a good year.
Him and Cruz might have some pretty good seasons to watch.
Yeah. So definitely got to see more of that. A little less hero ball. One thing I want to get into is this report that came out a couple Mondays back by The Ringer. Says Chicago has backed itself into an unenviable corner and possibly the worst situation in the entire league. Changes could be coming soon. This report also mentions that the Bulls are a top half tank team. Send a Bulls should tank, basically. And I was offended by this report. Yes, they're off to a slow start. We also had the hardest schedule in the league. 17 out of 23 games against 500 or better teams. It's still been without their top dog. And I believe that the Bulls can still pull it together. So what did you think about that Ringer article? How did you feel about that?
I don't feel any disrespect from it at all. They saying exactly what I said a couple of weeks ago. If we don't start to make some serious changes and start to win some games, we need to figure out what we're going to do in the next. It's about staying relevant, not just having 1 or 2 good years and then now we're back to being the baby Bulls. Or, we're rebuilding. We have a lot of veterans on our team. We're not a young team anymore. We got a lot of veterans that are used to winning. We played very well last year. Yes, and we are missing Alonzo Ball, no doubt about it, and we need him. We are a better team with Ball, but
right.
Man, we got. We're not going to win. We got to shake it up.
So you think that they should tank?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we're not going to
win a championship.
I couldn't be farther from that. I couldn't be farther from it.
There is no championship on the horizon in the next 5 years. What we got, from the players we got to the draft picks we got, there is no way where you're showing me. You're not even showing me we're gonna make it to the conference finals right now. And I'm going against whatever else that's out there.
See, here's my thing. We've gone through that tankathon. I'm not trying to deal with that again. Yes, right now the way this team is constructed, there needs to be some changes. But I think that there can be some retooling without a full overhaul. The tank isn't necessary. One trade, if you can get Vooch out for a defensive stopper, now you're a much better team. Sometimes addition by subtraction. Again, toughest schedule to start. I think you're going to see a nice little steady run from the squad. I think that that article was something that was just on the surface. I think that was lazy.
So you one of those guys that just like being there. You just want to be in the building. You don't want to be with me at a table with champagne, toasting up. You just want to be in the building and watch us toast. I'm tired of being in the building, man.
Not all.
Let me tell you something, man.
How you tired of some place we hardly ever been?
Man,
we're never in the building.
We have 6 rings for a reason, bro. 6 of them. 6 rings. We are spoiled as a Chicago Bulls fan base.
And you think being relevant?
Hey, man.
So you think it's going to get better by blowing it all up and tanking and start over again and again?
If there's a chance to get a dude like Victor Wembanyama, I am taking a chance at that. If we don't have a window that I can look out and say, okay, we might be okay. If I'm sitting out that window, then I'm going to take a chance for a dude like Vic.
Okay, well then that point right there is one of the reasons why I think that article was a little bit lazy, because to get Wembanyama, you got to get the number 1 pick. So if you're going to tank, you got to. I mean, unless you get a top 4 pick, you tank for nothing. You lost the pick. You lost the pick. You still got DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, 2 star players.
Which are being tied to the Lakers a whole lot.
Yeah, but that's the Lakers tying themselves. The Bulls came out and said came out and said those are guys are untouchable.
Because that's what they supposed to do. They don't supposed to say, yeah, our guys are on the market and we don't trust them. They supposed to say what they saying to the trade.
Yeah, no, they keep stressing it's not happening. They saying they not even listening to any deal involving.
If there's a chance to tank for a guy like Victor, that I'm believing. We have taken chances on Eddie Curry, Tyson Chandler, Ron Artest. I can pull out a list of names that we have taken chances on and blew it. Man, I took all them chances out the window to take a chance on a guy like Victor. That's just how I think. I'm standing on that.
Yeah, and I'm not ready to start over.
Because you like being relevant. I like to win.
You say that, but we've been last year was the first time we made the playoffs in 5 years. So how can I even be used to being relevant?
Because you're a young Bulls fan.
What I'm used to, I'm a 40-year-old Bulls fan. That's not that young. What I'm used to is seeing my team constantly tanking and constantly in the running for a top pick and don't get it.
But that was the Guard Pack days. So I think it was different then. I mean, we had Bill Cartwright as a coach.
Now we have GMs that will at least make an attempt to go after it. Do I want to just be relevant? Hell no. I want to be a championship contender. But I don't think you're going to get there by just tanking and blowing it up every time you don't like the situation.
I think a guy like Victor's worth a chance. Even if you get screwed, you still come out on top.
And I think it's worth it to see if you can maybe just change some pieces. I'm with you in the fact that something needs to change. There needs to be some sort of a move. But the tank is completely extreme. To blow it up is completely extreme to me.
When Pat got demoted, he said, I kind of saw it coming. What? No, Pat. That's not what you say. You say, man, I hate I'm getting demoted. I can't wait to get my spot back. That's what you say, bro.
Let me package Pat and Vooch up in a deal. Let's get back a bigger four and a shooter. And let's see how much this team changes.
Let's see if we make it to the second round.
That's an improvement. That's a contender.
We need a big star. I love Zach. I love DeMar. But we need future, man. Both of those. I think Zach had a chance to stay around for a while. DeMar, he's older. We all fall in love with him as Bulls, but we see that there is no loyalty in basketball no more. So at this point, man, I need something that I can believe in, man. And I don't believe in the Bulls right now. I love our team. I love that we're trying. But as I watch what's going on in the last game of the NBA, we are a bottom tank. Hey, man, I know you don't like the story, but I kind of agree with you. We are a bottom tank team right now, man.
Yeah, and I couldn't disagree more with that.
Sorry, Bulls fans. Hey.
I mean, first off, as bad as we started, we're, one game out of the play-in, and we're going into the lighter part of the schedule. I'll say by the first of the year, by All-Star break, the Bulls in the playoff race.
So, if we make it in the playoffs and we're in the bottom of the time, and we end up seeing the Celtics, the Bucks, or Cleveland, we are going to get 4-0 out of the playoffs. How does that go? See, that's a bad taste in my mouth. To go to the playoffs.
So you would rather just give up the whole season and not compete for the playoffs? Because I'd rather take my chances against those guys.
Yeah, see, I don't like participation trophy. That's not what I meant.
I'm not looking for a participation trophy.
That's what going to the playoffs is to me.
You got to get to the playoffs before you can get a championship. You're not going to rebuild. You're not going to rebuild your team today and tomorrow you're going to win a chip.
No doubt
still have to take the steps to get there.
Yeah, but you need the players to get there too.
Yeah, you do need the players to get there, and I feel like we only a couple players away, a couple players switch, and you're right there. You're right there.
I don't think we're a horrible team. I'm not saying that. I just think that we're only built to beat certain teams. That was a great win for us beating, Milwaukee a couple weeks ago. Because we really don't play well against them. It was a great win against, the Wizards the other night. But man, the teams that we always lose to, we continue to lose to. And it's just sad. We have a massive team that we cannot beat no matter what. And we have to find a way to change that to the point where we are winning those games before I can look at us different. Because I always say, hey, we're out there, but we just okay. I want to be good. Like, it was fun last season. I know I'm going crazy, but it to me, Lonzo Ball changes all of this, man. and hearing the stories I've been hearing about that he's not looking good, that the D's still not responding right, and that hurts my feelings, man. Because to me, he makes us a totally different team.
He does, but I'm gonna tell you another thing though. You still need to get some more insurance for him because that's his MO. He's hurt every year of his career.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate to say. I agree with you. He needs a lot to this team.
Both the ball boys out, and it's just crazy how
that's been his career thus far.
Now he's a part of this team, and we're not playing well. We're talking about a couple of changes. I'm all in because I really feel like with Ball and the team we have, man, he makes us such a different team, man. Like I hate.
But you're gonna get Ball back.
When?
You get from him.
When?
I mean, the report since the season began was always the start of next year, like after January.
Okay, I missed that. Okay.
This is never. He was never told. It was never said to be back right now. Coming into the league, we wasn't expecting him before January.
Football, this basketball. Even if he came back, it's gonna take him time to gel, get his feet back on.
And you want to at least hope that he can at least get back in time to build up a playoff run. But my biggest thing is if we were able to move Vooch for somebody to play defense for like maybe a Vooch and Pat for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner or something like that, much better team. Much better team. Man, I like our chances against any of those guys that you named. Are we the favorites against Boston, Milwaukee, or Cleveland? No. But do we have a chance against those guys? 100%. I mean, as bad as we've been playing, we got Boston number right now. I know it's a different story come playoff time. We've only seen Cleveland once. They started off hot and heavy. They're still good, but we see some.
Nobody believes in it. I think
Cleveland going to the finals.
I think the Nets still have a chance to go to the finals this year. You see them turning it around. They've been playing well without Kyrie. Getting Kyrie back now. Ben Simmons been gone. They still been playing well. And that's why I'm so worried about the Bulls because it's so many stacked teams out there that are trying to figure it out just like us. It's a bunch of teams out there trying to figure it out like us. And if everybody figured it out, we still behind the eighth.
If they've all figured it out, there's still a lot of teams trying to figure it out. And again, there's still a lot of teams that ain't had the schedule that we've had. It looks after December.
After the schedule we went to, we 10-14, and we giving out, you know what I'm saying, extensions to the coach. Like, how'd that work? So now,
and we could get into that topic.
I mean, because think about this, okay? We was just talking about firing the man. Then he went on a little streak. Then all of a sudden they fell off again, and he gets an extension like. Yeah, they went to the playoffs last year, but that's, I haven't seen enough in-game coaching moves and enough to say that we're going to stick by Philly and this is what we rolling with, and that was kind of, that was a step back for me.
I've heard a lot of people say they like the extension. I'm not a fan of it, but I will say they didn't just do the extension. They did it before the season started. It was a surprise to us that we just found out about.
Oh, they just announced it. Okay.
It was done in the offseason. Just some good reporting ended up finding it out. So shout out to Sham Sharanya. I'll put a link in the description talking about it from the KC Johnson report mentioned that Shams was the first to report it. But yeah, that was a preseason or off-season signing. And like you, I'm not for that. I'm not the biggest Billy fan. I think he kind of has a voice that they kind of shutting their ears to. But I do like the recent lineup changes. Patting Ayo off the bench.
We asked for adjustments, and we've been getting
a little bit better.
Yeah, we asked for adjustments. And so we see him trying to do things, but we're giving out more money. It's my thing,
Yeah, I'm not for that. But before I get ready to just give up all hope from this team, like I said, we a game out of the play-in. And only like 2 games out of the 8 seed. So it's not, the scenario isn't dire yet. I want to see how we look once this schedule kind of evens out. We going into a stretch right now. It started with the Washington game the other night of 4 of the next 5 games at home, 7 of the next 10 games against teams that's below 500. So I want to see if we can kind of even it out and get close to 500. Now, if we give up games, we fall farther in the rankings after this stretch, then yeah, trade deadline comes, blow it up, see what kind of pieces you can get, some first round picks. But it's too early to go there right now. And that's why I felt that was a lazy report. It's way too soon. We just in the first quarter of the season.
We played the Knicks and the Hawks 5 of the next 7 games. That's crazy. So we could really, really make a run. The Hawks haven't been playing well lately. The Knicks have been playing better. You got to sandwich in Minnesota in there too. But, we could actually come out of that next 7 games 5 and 7 out of the next 7. And that can really turn things around and we could be looking a lot better. So I do believe in you when I say, like, the fact that the season isn't over. I'm not saying that we should start tanking immediately. I think we should be thinking about it at least. I do believe in putting a little fire under the players. Some of these stories coming out about trades and all that, hopefully it'll push guys to want to do a little bit more. You find out who the real soldiers are when this kind of story starts to come out.
And then here's another thing I'm going to tell you. Back when we signed DeMar DeRozan, I looked at that signing as what it can mean down the road. When that's an expiring contract, a package of him and Vooch can probably bring us back another superstar. With the way DeRozan has been playing, maybe we get somebody that gets disgruntled. Maybe Tatum is like, I want to leave Boston. I don't know. I'm throwing names at hypotheticals. I'm just talking about down the line. But you're not. What I'm saying is, even if you were to tear it down and rebuild right now, when are the stars available? When are you going to be able to? Just because we get Wembanyama don't mean we're going to flip and go right back up. He's going to need time to develop. The speed of the game is way different than he's used to. So that's why I just think we're closer now, and you got it.
It's a different NBA, man. It's a different.
No, this is exactly what the NBA is, though. You want to get the big name players, you got to have expiring contracts. You got to have draft picks. You got to.
When does that ever work for us?
How often do we have it?
Man, we always have cap space. We always have money to bring players in.
Oh, okay. How often does lottery work?
We've been getting treated wrong. So I'll never forget when Tracy McGrady came to town and played us. Man, thought they were gonna sign up. Like
but you want to give away all-stars.
We
got a history of not being able to bring it in.
Draft,
that's a contradiction. We've been building through the draft.
No, we haven't.
We've been building through the draft.
No, we haven't. Every time we get some guys, we let them go. Look at Martin. He should still be.
That's what you want to do now. You want to blow it up. That's exactly what that means. Letting them go.
We have let go of some great players.
Kind of a big contradiction.
We got to do something different. I don't like what we've been doing, man. So you can say I'm contradicting. I'm standing on it, man. I love Victor. I love what he can bring. And yes, it's cool to make it to the playoffs, but I need to. And see,
the team that we have now is different. What Acme has done since they came in, that's not something that, as a Bulls fan, I'm used to seeing. To go out and spend $60 million on Lonzo Ball and to go after the top guy in DeMar DeRozan, we're not used to seeing that. We don't get free agents. So the fact that we were able to bring them in gives me hope.
So we got lucky with DeMar. We both know that. We got lucky with that sign.
You can't call. You can't. I'm not gonna say lucky.
We got lucky with that. That man should have been in LA. That man should have been in LA.
LA couldn't afford him.
They could have made it happen.
They couldn't afford him. They couldn't afford him.
They make things happen all the time.
I can't say.
Golden State does it. They done the same. The teams that want to know what they do.
That's not luck. That's mismanagement. That's a whole different ballgame.
They spend over all the time.
They mismanaged that team. They traded for Russ instead of going after DeMar DeRozan. That's mismanagement. I'm not going off of luck.
They listened to the players instead of making right decisions.
It was more than luck. DeMar went with a team who he had experience with, Mark Eversley. That's the same guy that drafted him in Toronto. They had a relationship. He called Zach LaVine. They talked about it. It was more than just luck. It was the number 2 option for him.
He fell in our lap, man.
That's not luck, though. It takes things to happen for that to poor management by the Lakers. No one can offer him.
Okay, I won't call it luck. I'll call it a blessing. That's what I'm calling
$90 million.
DeMar, you are a blessing.
He got almost $90 million. That's
I never hate on him. I never hate DeMar. DeMar is one of the type of players that I've been watching my whole life, man. I've always liked
DeMar got almost $90 million. That's not luck. That's
he get that money from somewhere else, man. He act like we're the only ones that have money to offer.
No, nobody did have money to offer him. That's the thing. You gotta look. You gotta look at the.
They make it work all the time. They make it work all the time.
But they couldn't. No one could. They was offering them the low end. They was offering them mid-level and less.
Nobody saw him doing what he did for us the last 2 years. Nobody saw him coming in, being in the MVP race. Nobody. And I think because of everything that happened, it pushed him to be a better player.
Yeah, I think he was already a better player. He was in that pop system and held him back a little bit.
Yeah.
But he was the number one free agent that year. And I was encouraged by the fact that the Bulls went out and signed the number one free agent that year, along with Alonzo Ball and Alex Caruso. They went out and they spent the money. So it gives me faith that they want to be in this.
So we flip some pieces. We go try to get big. We add to that, and boom, here we go. Now we in the sweepstakes again. You know, don't be afraid, man, to take some chances, man. It's Chicago. We roll the dice all the time.
Yeah, okay. I see rolling the dice differently. I see rolling the dice as trying to get better pieces just ready right now.
I'm the guy at the casino table having fun. You don't want to look at your money like, okay, how much have I won? How much have I lost?
And I'm not in this to keep starting over. I just seen that. I'm not trying to do another rebuild.
Now, the baby Bulls days was tough, no doubt about it.
But yeah, just real quick before we get up out of here, what else we missing? What did we not talk about? What's on the horizon for our squad, Snow?
Hey, well, we really didn't talk about the point that AO did get demoted a little bit.
The new lineup change.
The lineup changes, we knew that was coming. We knew it was something that was needed. We're trying to find that right lineup. And, I mean, at this point, because of injuries and stuff like that, it's kind of hard to find the right lineup, because he's sitting guys and then guys get hurt, so you got to put the guy back in. So, but, I mean, AO has been a very consummate professional the whole year. Got to give him props for everything he's doing. You never hear any stories about him. He's never in the news. He does great interviews. He does what he has to do, and that's what you expect of NBA guys. But we got to find a way to really start playing better, like we talked about before a couple weeks ago. I mean, we peak and then we fall off, then we peak. Right now we look like a 500 or less team, and we just got to find a way to get a nice streak of games going. And we got to, like I said, we play the Hawks and the Knicks 5 of the next 7 games. If we can find a way to come out of that 5-7, 4-7, 5-7, and then 5-7, 6, and some over 500.
Yeah,
we gotta beat the teams that's at least close to us or less. We can't lose to them and then expect to beat the top 10 teams.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement with you on that. And just a quick little rundown: the schedule is a lot lighter to end this year, so. Before I'm gonna hold my full judgment on the squad till probably January, see what we look like coming in into 2023. But just a quick look ahead of this week. You already mentioned we got Knicks and the Hawks tonight. They'll be playing against the Mavs, and I don't know if the game will probably be ended by the time this gets posted. So we'll see how that goes. But no Luka tonight. And then a back-to-back tomorrow. We're in Atlanta. And then Wednesday and Friday, we got home games against the New York Knicks, both games. So it should be a good week. This is a winnable week. When we see the Hawks, they're without DeJounte Murray.
We always play well against the Knicks.
We always play well against the Knicks. We play well against the Hawks. We play well against the Mavs. No Luka. Hopefully we can pull that one.
I'm expecting us to blow Minnesota out.
So we should be able to put together a nice little run. So hopefully we'll have much better attitudes and feelings in the next episode about how
about me a tank outfit. Just put little tanks behind me everywhere. Tank. Nah, man. Yeah. I've been tough on the Bulls all year because I kind of foreseen what's going on. I thought they were going to be a playoff team. But, I didn't see the injuries that have been hurting us. But The NBA Central, Central Division is tough this year, man. I mean, it's gonna be tough to make it out of the East period, but our division is the Boston, some of the best teams in the whole league right now. So
yeah, it's a gauntlet. So it's gonna be fun to watch down the stretch. You can make it out of this division, you can really compete.
Yeah, no doubt.
So best of luck for our Bulls in this upcoming week. And we will see you guys again next week. And before we get out of here, ladies and gentlemen, if you love the Chicago Bulls, if you love basketball, if you love the city of Chicago, drop us a like, leave us a comment, share, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. From us here at On My Bull, ladies and gentlemen, we love you. And we out.
Go Bulls, go.
Peace.